Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LCK Cup 2025.
Yeah. Right? The QV has been gone for too long, and Doran is now that guy, especially on... Okay, that's just first blood. Kellen's dead. Well, there was the interaction, Wolf.
I also said that there's a chance you could set up the feathers.
Start to this game.
And you could have opted into playing Jace. Hold up.
Okay, he's doing it again. Yeah, Kellen is just going to take a lot of damage. Diablo as well as Gio is just going to chase him down. The Ghost has been used. Doesn't have the Blade Caller, but they just got back.
Yeah, well, this is a disaster now. It was...
Oh, God. Lehens is just not letting them go home. As there's the flash. Lehens might have bit off more than he can chew. Still burning down. But Gideon's over here. Raptor also turning up, but not actually able to affect the play. So Lehens is going to get scared off. Gio moving on over now as Gideon, a lot of health available, but they don't have control. A cocoon is up, and it lands onto the monkey. Repel out immediately as Kellen cannot find it, but they eventually will get that spider because what goes up must come down, and Gio is just going to dive on top of Diablo. There it is. Flashes into the brush, but there is vision there already. And Nongshim showing that killer instinct. And that is precisely what we were asking for at the beginning of this game. You love it when a plan comes together. As Kingen dashing around, not going to be bothered by this steadfast presence as Kellen will be able to clear out that ward. And now Raptor able to slink in unbeknownst.
It's tough to dive this Mbessa with flash and ult.
Oh, but Gideon's coming in. Oh no, the Wukong gets trapped in the prison, but Kingen's still likely to go down. The public execution is unfortunately not going to get seen by anyone. And BNK, they get out of the woods, but that was very funny at the beginning of that fight.
I feel like that still wasn't like the right move from BNK, but they got lucky, okay? King is a little bit too far away from the turret. Fisher is going to be fine here. We'll get out, no problem. And now Raptor is going to be able to, looks like, take this blue buff away, although.
Yep, ulti comes on through as another dive and another death as the repel gets him out of there. Fisher going to be flashing. That's the right flash, however, not going to be good enough as Vikla going to secure it with a Chaos Storm. Probably would have been good for that one to go over to Diablo. Wanted the money, and he does manage to get it there.
So things are just we're not done.
I've seen this movie before. As Kingen not going to find the ulti once again, but this time he's not dead. Dashing around, will be able to grab himself a shield as he makes his way southward. But Raptor is going to be there. The smite comes in. Good flash, and Kingen. Woohoo! That's some fancy footwork.
Yeah, and all the while,
dodge.
Gio finishes off the turret bottom side.
Have to walk up here. Clear and Raptor are making their way in, but in this 3v3, it's going to be tough. With a fourth, though, maybe an opportunity. No Blade Caller here for Jiwoo, as he's now looking to get himself out. Great cocoon from Lehens, who does have to flash, but does get himself out of there. Diablo also going to be killer instincting in order to make his way out. An awkward verb, not going to lie. As Gideon is going to be on this ward. I feel like we've been waiting for some replays for a while, but we can't get to them because there's just action all over the place. And Kellen is also just going to get prisoned, and now he's in trouble. The cocoon point-blank range onto Raptor as he throws down the Cyclone, but Lehens is going to find him. Still, the second Cyclone's going to take out the Elise. Keeper's verdict says no to Fisher, and Raptor even survives a couple of feathers.
Yeah, you know, I actually still will defend almost to the death. Like this is the most recent replay. Gideon catches Kellen. And then look at the cocoon swap here onto Raptor, but he still gets the Cyclone off and he can flash over the wall. And then Lehens goes to chase him, but gets hit by the second part of the Cyclone. And then Kellen has the steadfast, or not the steadfast, the Keeper's verdict to knock the Aurora away, so Fisher can't clean up the fight. It was actually really well played.
Something I haven't seen just yet. Seen a fair bit of Kraken Slayer if they want a bit more physical damage, but Yuntal is a new one, has been buffed on this patch. As now Fisher looking to try and survive here. That is a Narnian ultimate from Gideon and a very dead Fisher, but still, Poppy's going to be on the floor, so a 1-for-1. Not too bad there for Nongshim as they are pushing in this mid lane at the same time. Jiu not going to let Diablo get in there without a fight, but it is going to stop Kingen from being able to get in here, but the public execution is a real dangerous one. Raptor just walks in and it's a highway robbery. Kingen, can you find an angle as Kingen's just going to move him out of there, but he's going to be dying. Raptor now going to get imprisoned, and he is the one that drew the short straw as he doesn't get over the wall there. Not quite an option. So the rest of BNK going to look to try and push this mid-wave out, lick their wounds a little bit and say, at least we got the Rift Herald.
It would have been way better for them. Unfortunately, they didn't have any prio, so even though a lot of that damage and resource were put into Kellen, they end up winning the fight swimmingly, but don't end up stopping the smite from going over as Kellen?
Ooh, yeah, Lahen's going to just say, all right, well, if this is the situation, I will try and offer some damage back. Kingen moves up. They're not able to actually kill this pesky spider as... Oh, Lahen's, that was so cute. Going to stop him from being able to take him down by blast coning him away. And now the permafrost comes in. Kellen just going to get wrathed by the winter and will be taken down where he stands. This Poppy not necessarily working out for BNK thus far, but that was very sad for Kellen.
Yeah, really nice move there by Lahen's to kind of just isolate him there, blast cone him into oblivion.
Is it crazy? But I think that Lahen's is POM so far.
I think so.
He's my front runner. I know it's a 3-0-3 Zyra's public execution onto Vikla. He's going to have to flash, but that's not going to get him away from this Ambessa. Raptor chasing him down. Clear is going to very awkwardly teleport in, but will be able to grab a kill onto this Ambessa. Repel gets Lahen's out of there, and Diablo now just standing awkwardly behind the turret. Raptor is going to move in, and the Cocoon is going to miss. And that will mean that Diablo takes down the Spider. BNK, they managed to grab that one, as now Kellen's dead again. Jiu going to collect another kill, and he's continuing to push here in this mid lane.
They have 6 grubs, so I mean, the push of this Xayah is actually relevant. Plus Fisher here in the top side, really working on this turret. It's a lot of relevant. One Cocoon button. And
by the way, Lahen's doesn't actually count that Cocoon as a miss, because he's still got the cleanse.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it went completely the wrong direction or not.
Yeah.
So count it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to troll war, that's going to try and get them in there, as this is going down very low. Can Raptor get the steal? That's the question, because you cannot fight them after they get this buff. Keeper's Verdict comes down, but it's too late. The Cocoon is going to block Kellen there, as well as the public execution. Oh no, insult, meet injury, as BNK not only lose Otacon, but they also lose both their jungle and support. And Nongshim are going to be able to continue pushing with an inability to die.
Yeah, no, this is that is probably the straw that breaks the camel's back here for BNK.
And this camel was already walking with rickety knees, Wolf.
I thought maybe we could see it in a fair fight, BNK stand up to Nongshim, but it's just not going to happen anymore. And the funny part about it is both of the solo laners were just not involved in that exchange at all. Like, Clear went for a Hex Gate flank on this Jace, tank Jace. He's like, maybe I can get it done. You can see Vikla on the mini. They're going to push hard here into the bottom lane and look for potentially a dive on the Clear.
Yep, Clear is going to take a bunch of damage here from Kingen. Shields up most of it. And we'll continue to try and get some pressure down, as there's the public execution. Clear manages to go to the skies, and speaking of to the skies, Keeper's Verdict sends away the Ambessa, but they're continuing to fight here. Oh, Jiwoo! That's that killer instinct we wanted to see! 2 kills ripped away from BNK, and then he just withdraws, goes back home as Fisher, now it's his turn to pop off underneath the inhibitor turret, and now it's just Vikla left standing. That is some Otacon value, if ever I've seen it.
It certainly is. They don't get the inhibitor turret nor the inhibitor, but they did get a lot of gold. And now they're even further. He's like, no one's getting out alive, including me, but a little bit of an overextension there, you could say. Like, this one, I think the space will be a little bit less enthusiastic about, but everything up until that was pretty great.
Well, Lahen's has found Vikla, and there's another Cocoon. God, this guy's very good at support Elise. It's like he's been playing it for like 11 years. As Nongshim continuing to push forward. Lahen's as well, like in a lead. Yeah, finds that one with that ward over the wall. And Diablo takes 50% of his health bar. There goes the inhibitor turret. And Nongshim, I mean, their wallets are so incredibly huge. They are just kind of dropping it on them now. But still, they're doing it with style.
I mean, he's got Storm Surge and an Arm Guard and a needlessly large rod. He has so much money.
He's basically a mid laner, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually insane. Like, and this is... I talked about it earlier, how as a support you get to have that impact, you get to have fun, you get to hurt people on this champion, but when you're this fed, you really hurt.
Well, they're looking to try and kill Kingen here. Kellen will die if he tries to corral him any more than this, and you can see Kingen realize that public execution going to go down. Let's see whether the world champ can make his way out, and ladies and gentlemen, that is the world champ difference right there. It doesn't have to be just Wolf Flick that has it, as now Nongshim push in the mid lane. They're going to take another inhibitor. And this game is basically over, Wolf.
Yeah, I think it has been for a little while, but it felt like maybe when they were like 3,000 gold behind, like, oh, there's a team fight that could happen if they get to fight on even terms. But the
Wukong is a sign of poor things to come, especially, I mean, this Sejuani is so big, Wolf.
Yeah.
We were talking about the fact that like he's getting a bunch of money early and how that's not a good thing. I'm kind of feeling like maybe it is, as the first Cocoon is going to miss there, and that might spell the end of Lehens. He repels, Raptor is burning, and Elise just flashes away. Lehens just walks. He's got those tap dancing shoes on, and he's feeling good about it as Jiwoo throws out the Feather Storm. That stops Diablo from killing him for a while. Does mean that he does go down, but BNK, I don't think they're winning this one. Public execution just for fun, but Kingen gets that shield, stays alive, and Gideon is never going to die again this game. His health bar is too big, and Fisher is done.
Stop the Baron. That's the good news.
Hey, he nailed it. There you go.
The bad news is you did not stop a 6-scrub Aurora from wiping out majority of this Nexus turret. You see Kingen's got the teleport in as well. They are looking to end this one right here, right now.
Yeah, that is game 1 in the books here for Nongshim. Probably the most cathartic game for any Nongshim fan. If you are a Noodle Boys enthusiast, this is a good sign for things to come, because this is Jiwoo looking back on form. This is Fisher finding some angles. Gideon looking really
late game scaling with the Azir. It's got a lot of great parts here. And you look at the other side, and you're like, okay, there's not as much late game damage. The problem is that jumping around, he's level 3 though, and that's a Camille.
The problem is that with a Galio, he can always just be there. I feel like it's a bit of a cheat code here for Nongshim. And like when Lehens hits level 6, Stand United scrubs.
So fast on the rotation, you know, no punish there on the bottom side. Now,
oh god, Lehens. Kellen is going to be able to sweep him. So there we go, but Lehens once more. There's the Shadow Dash flash! And they all pile on top of Raptor. He's taken down Diablo. Gonna have to cleanse as Kingen says, you're not taking part in this fight.
Azir is great late game. Well, not if he's dead, and I am concerned he will not be alive.
Well, here's a Stand United, ladies and gentlemen. This is what this composition does. It CCs you and kills you.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it.
And that's the thing about the Jax. You're like, oh, I'm in the side lane. I win. And we do see BNK are going to take this dragon, so it's a win for them. Teleport does come over to the top side as we see Clear return.
Man, I mentioned it, and it appeared.
You willed it.
The Chemtech Soul. We're going to have a look at this one more time. Let's see how much gameplay Clear is allowed to do.
Let's see how much gameplay Lehens does.
Yep.
Star.
Well, that was the knockup, and he came down, and then, yeah, and pressed. He pressed E.
As a niche pick, right? When Lehens picks it, as a niche pick. And it's just the fact that Nongshim is playing to his strengths finally here. It's at the end of the group battle stage, but I feel like they didn't do index into this as hard as they are today. It's great to see. Like, it's exciting.
Well, Stand United now going to be invested, and Clear was like, I was enjoying the 1v1. And Shadow Dash doesn't actually connect. Another Empower would have killed Kingen. Not quite executed correctly there on the side of Nongshim. Still, with the Stand United, Kingen's going to survive. No harm, no foul.
It's a win for BNK because they got Lehens' ultimate.
They did.
And that is, you know, where the good news stops.
Ooh, that was a nice Emperor's Divide there from Vikla. Now the Sand Soldier's getting some work done. Of course, Fisher is able to take magic damage quite comfortably, so isn't going to die just yet, but with some assistance could be a problem. Justice Punch gonna be blocked, as at least has a small taunt
defensive members of BNK down there to stop that from happening. Teleport will not be cancelled, but it doesn't save the turret either.
No, it doesn't. And in fact, there's a new turret, and it's not the one of Fisher's. So a very confusing little array of plays as the Gargoyle is sort of thrown around like a ragdoll, but is going to survive because he does have a lot of health. But otherwise, still going to lose the turret, lose that feat of strength as well, as BNK are able to lock that one down. But 1 kill and 1 objective, and Nongshim have the sandals.
Yeah, so it's a big win here for BNK. This is a really cool setup here, though, because they're going to crash this into mid turret. Clear is threatening topside. Yes, they lost the bottom turret, but you can see Vikla has teleport. He's actually defending the bottom turret there. This is a really good map play here for BNK, and they lose a dragon for this, but I don't think they care.
Well, that is going to be the taunt coming down. Clear should be able to get rid of this turret, but it takes so long. Clear will be taken down. They're in the Thunderdome now. Justice Punch is served to Raptor, but he is going to be able to make it out with the Vault Breaker. Vikla with a defensive ultimate, but Lehens just Shadow Dashes him, and no Sun Disc is going to protect you from that. As Nongshim, they can always collapse like this, and I feel like BNK were playing around this Stand United cooldown to pick up the feats of strength as well, as Atakan is going to be on the top side of the map, as he does appear. I assume it's Voracious. As Lehens, I mean, all good things must come to an end, right? And so he will be taken down. Not quite sure what he was really doing there, as Diablo's going to be able to take down this turret.
That's a lot of gold.
He's going to spot what's going on around this Otacon. Spots that there is a control ward there. As once again, they're diving on top of Lehens, but this time he's got Gideon there, and now the rest of the teammates turn up. Teleport coming forward. Fisher Justice punches his way out. They get a teleport out of BNK.
Towards the top side of the map.
Vikler. Oh, Vikler is in so much trouble. Fisher is going to spot him out, but the teleport, that's going to scoot him out of there.
But that gives a huge amount of prio for Otacon right now. BNK need to rotate fast. Clear does not have teleport. This is a huge problem.
Well, yeah, and Vikler definitely doesn't have teleport because he just used it to get out of the way of right here where he wants to be. As now Kingen looking for an opportunity. Stands United comes down. Emperor's Divide does absolutely nothing. And down goes Raptor. Kellen, not sure what he's doing as I look back towards the rest of the fight. Hookshot, not going to get Vikler, but now he's out of the fight as well. Clear, standing in amongst it, but none of his friends are around. And Nongshim just going one after the other. And Clear survives for way longer than he would like to, but now two of the damage dealers are up, but no one else.
I mean, Vikler, he alone would have to rip through these health bars here if they're going to contest, so they just simply opt out. Even though everyone's super low on the side of Nongshim, Lehens is going to take some damage here. They're going to have to juggle the aggro. Meanwhile, you see Vikler pushing into that inner. They're going to try to take down this dragon, but the Otacon is way more important here. Vikler whiffing that ultimate is so massive. I think if he had saved it there and had at least hit Lehens, but like he had actually gotten a high value setup there, maybe they could have actually stopped that objective. But man, I was talking about how they had such good tempo, and they threw it all away. I mean, Vikler having to teleport to escape here just guarantees Otacon goes over. And yeah, this is kind of a disaster. Kingen has the shield, the ult here doesn't hit alone, and you know, he could have, a lot of teams would have actually just gone over there and tried to stop them, but he was like, it's too risky. We're just going to get the sitting on a sun disc, and this is once again Nongshim starting this up with vision control, and someone's going to have to go in. Someone's going to have to face check. And, I mean, you have no information to set up a combo. Kellen has to be the guy.
Well, they do have information on where Kingen is, but Kellen is still likely to die. Gets the Magnet Storm off as now Gideon with that Crescent Guard trying to keep himself safe. Heroic entrance going to bring Fisher over there. The Winds of War as well, as Clear's going to go down. There's a beautiful taunt. Yeah, Misfortune can't play the game. That was never going to be a thing. Raptor trying to flash, but it's a triple for Jiwoo, and he's even going to let the Vi live because Nongshim just want to take apart the base of BNK, or maybe they changed their minds. They want a purple buff. They can take anything.
Well,
the world's steroids.
The ball was very late, and then obviously with all of the tools that Nongshim had that we've been talking about all game long, they just crushed the fight.
And they've got a million buttons that can CC all of the carries. And I think power play sitting at close to 1,600, but that is only going to extend as Kingen looks to take down his first inner turret on this top side. Kellen once again out of position, and no way that you can be walking around trying to get vision at this stage of the game.
And for the BNK FEARX, this is great news. You know, I mean, they're looking at potentially just getting into play-ins here off of Nongshim's victory, and you know, they earned that win that they got, and that's the difference maker. And on the other side, BNK, they're in control of their destiny, but really struggling here in this series. A must-win for them. It's not over till it's over, but it is looking pretty over at this point, Atlas.
It's pretty dire. Nongshim as well. I think that if you're this roster with these players, you want to be higher in the standings. You don't want to be one of the teams that is struggling in the bottom five. Oh my god! Diablo just explodes! Emperor's Divide does manage to get some damage back, but look at this! Nongshim say thanks for the engage angle and just obliterate them! I mean, the wallets were heavy, but I didn't know that their knees were this weak and their palms were this sweaty, Wolf.
Yeah. Kingen, I think he's in danger, but not, maybe I'm wrong, because he's Camille.
Yeah, well, Kingen is just going to give him a thumbs up. Fisher is going to knock them all up. He goes golden as well, just to show how cool he is, and then he dies. That is going to be Raptor, at least keeping him honest. But in the meantime, as you can see, Nongshim are winning the game. Gideon, win becomes lightning, but Nexus becomes exploded, and Nongshim are going to pick up the 2-0 over BNK FEARX. What an incredible